Browns lose to San Francisco, and a lot of Browns fans are feeling a lot of different things. There's a lot of questions, a lot of takes with a lot of passion behind them. So we're going to answer everything that Browns fans are wondering right now. You got questions that you want on the show, takes that you want on the show. We're going to react to all of them after Shedeur's second start in the National Football League. If you want to be a part of videos like this, hit that subscribe button so you can be on the lives when we gather all the questions. Come on in, join the party. It's free. Daily Browns news and videos for you guys and updates, quarterback news, everything. I got you covered. Hit the subscribe button. I say we get into our first question of the day, and that is from Sweetie T. Don't blame 12 for this game. He basically has the same stats as Purdy. Play call and special teams lost this game. You know what? It's actually a good point, Sweetie T. The stats part specifically looked very similar to Purdy's, if not better than Brock Purdy's stats. And guess what? We put up 8 points total. The Niners had 26. So Shedeur played a cleaner game today. No turnovers, right? A touchdown that was 34-yard strike to Fannin. And Purdy's stats were honestly similar, if not worse. And so it's the team around them. It's the coaching. Shanahan's done a phenomenal job in San Fran. It's discipline and, biggest of all, special teams blunders that set up the Niners. I bet our defense holds them on a few more drives if they're not set up in the red zone to start things off. So I'm with you. I don't think, how could you blame Shedeur entirely for this loss when there was a mess around him? I think he did fine, and if those blunders were not committed, it would have been enough to win the football game. I really think that. No, it wasn't perfect. I get it. But still, no way you're going to tell me after that game, after that one loss, to go back to Gabriel? Come on now. Not going to happen. Stefanski already said Shedeur will start next Sunday against the Titans. AFX, 6 or 7 win season is a win to me. You know, that's the bar for Browns fans right now, I guess, AFX. If Shedeur gets a few wins in his back half of the season, shows a little more flashes like we've seen. We've already seen 2 deep shots from him. 2 touchdown passes that went for over 30 yards. Like, we could just see some flashes that we've been seeing in the past next few games and a couple wins. Like, you're telling me we can build around him. Otherwise, do you go into the draft thinking you need to draft another quarterback? I don't want that to have to be the case because we have so many other issues that need addressing. Coaching's an issue too. I'm not going to forget about that. So that's where I'm at, AFX. Moving on. Is the Reno Coach Kevin and special teams coach need to go right on cue? Perfect timing for that one, as they say, because I think it's an issue. Fire Bubba, that might be the new chant in Cleveland, too, because there have been way too many special teams mistakes this year. We've given up 3 special teams touchdowns. That's more than anybody else. And now we're making blunders. Now we're muffing punts. It's ridiculous. Who can win in this situation? We're not a team that can play from behind, by the way. It's not us. Our offensive line sucks this year. And when you get in those situations where you just have to start throwing the ball deep and let deep routes develop, we don't have time for that. Okay? You get up early, then you can start running the ball. Okay, we could be a better team, but you go down early because of dumbass mistakes like muffin punts and fumbling on 4th down in your own territory. Like, it's over. So, get Stefanski up out of here, man. I still think he's a part of this issue. It's his playbook still. Kami Reese calling the plays. Yeah, it's a little better, but it's the same playbook. It's the same guy who has the final say on all of it. So, what do you think, Browns fans? Do you want to fire Kevin Stefanski still? Should the Browns do it? Y for yes, N for no. Type a letter in the comment section with your opinion. I don't know how you can justify keeping him if we have back-to-back awful losing seasons. But let me know in the comment section. Brian Tucker, a real one of the show. Offense looked better in the first half, but then fell apart. What changed? Well, you know, it was good in the first half and the final 2 minutes of the first half. That touchdown drive was great. We got into Niners territory a couple times and didn't cash in as well. So that's the other part of this, though. Every game for the Browns season so far, the offense has just been a standstill in the second half specifically. It's like we don't make adjustments. It's like teams know our game plan. It's like Mike Vrabel said, we have 5 gimmick plays, and once those run out, it's predictable. Another argument for why Stefanski should be fired. He doesn't have as much of a bag as another offensive-minded head coach in the league might have. So, yeah, dumb mistakes and everything just fell apart. Max Redfan, another guy who dropped some good comments, says, how do we get Tate and Mendoza next year? We are keeping 12. JOK will be back to help Carson Schlesinger next year as well. So you want to get Mendoza and keep 12. Okay, I could buy into that. Do you keep Gabriel on the roster then too, though? Like, how many quarterbacks are we going to have? Young quarterbacks on the roster. But with Carnell Tate, it's starting to look like he's got to have to be our first-round pick. I'm seeing mock drafts putting him in the top 5, which is crazy. But, I mean, he's a stud. And I would love to bring in another Buckeye, man. It's working for us with Quinshon Judkins and a few others. So I would love to get Tate. But you can't get both then, right? Because Mendoza's going to be a top 3 pick, probably. And I don't want to give up draft capital to take a shot on another quarterback or wide receiver, you know? We need to load up in the draft. We should have, if we have a losing season, which we're guaranteed to have now, you need the draft to load up on your offensive linemen to wide receivers. So I'd rather keep draft capital instead of, trying to finesse a massive trade to get both. The goal, what would be ideal, is if Shedeur could show enough in his next back half of the season to make it so you don't need to draft a quarterback. But if the Cleveland Browns love Mendoza, well, okay, get your guy. But if you draft Mendoza with your very first pick, then it's the same offense that every other quarterback's played in this year. You know what I mean? So we're just at that juxtaposition, that dilemma. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. We got more Browns fans questions to answer here. Let's give a shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. I love this app. It's fun. I win money. I make a lineup every week. And because I cover the Browns, it helps me know what picks to make. I'm always listening to the coaches talk. If they say Jerry Jeudy's got to get more involved, I pick more on his projections. And I was right. When we play a bad run defense, I pick more on Quinshon Judkins. And if your fantasy season is already over, one of my teams is cooked. But with Prize Picks, I don't have to wait until next year's draft. Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football every week. Pick your favorite players and win when they hit their projections. Every week. No draft required. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. I cashed in this week. Look at this. I had a feeling Harold Fannin Jr. would be a target for Shedeur today, and he caught the touchdown, more than 8 of a fantasy score. Shedeur Sanders, more than 124.5 passing yards, as a good play by me, and Trevor Lawrence, more than half a passing touchdown. All of these were correct. I win money. You can do the same thing if you download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. I know producer Jax loves when I hit my Prize Picks lineups. Dino with the question, should we bring back Bill Callahan to straighten out the O-line, especially if we can draft a couple studs next year? Hey, I'm in on that, Dino. Browns fans are in on that. Callahan had the line right when he was here. People forget the Browns had one of the best offensive lines in the league when Nick Chubb was running like he was running. I mean, Petonio and Teller, they were all Pro Bowl guys. Now they're older. It's looking different. And so maybe you fire the OL coach too. Clean house. And bring back a guy, Bill Callahan, who is available. I'm in on that, Dino. At this point, what do you got to lose? The offensive line's been dreadful. Good question. Robert Colbert, who also is known as Kathy, when will we fix this awful offensive line and special teams? Yeah, there's no excuse. This can't be an issue next year. You didn't draft an offensive lineman last year. You had a great draft, but you didn't address your biggest need. So You better do it now. You better do it in the offseason. It looks like you're looking at free agency and NFL draft to address the O-line, though, at this point. Robert Colbert. That's where we are. And special teams, I mean, no excuses for how bad that's been. That should just be a simple facet of the game that, well, wins you games and loses you games, and it's losing us games right now. So that means fire Bubba. That means fire Bubba. But hold on to the dang football. Let's get an elite punt returner, kick returner, too. I mean, we're kind of just throwing guys in there. Jerome Ford returns punts. Larvidan now, who wasn't on the active roster to start the year, is now out there returning kicks. So what are we doing? Fix it up. Jersey fishing. Gabriel lost to the effing Jets. Get the F out of here. Fair point. I mean, Shedeur beat the Raiders. Played okay, decent, okay against the Niners today in a bad loss. And you're gonna tell me to bench him after that one game when we endured this loss to the New York Jets from Dillon Gabriel? And look, special teams was really the reason we lost that game, but Gabriel doesn't help out. He poor throws, misses screen passes, like hospital balls. I've got my sample size of Gabriel. 5 games, bad film. I've got 2 games of Shedeur, 1 win, 1 okay performance, and a loss. Let's see what he does next week against Tennessee. Go from there. I think he deserves the back half of this season. That's my opinion, folks. And it's a good point by Jersey Fishing. Let's go to Ms. Toya. Shedeur is doing as well as he can with what he's been given. Exclamation point. Another defense for Shedeur here. And look, I get it. Every Browns quarterback has played behind this bad Browns offensive line. Today, though, it was not only bad, it was banged up. You lose your starting right tackle, Jack Conklin, and Posick went out for a bit. Taylor's being rotated in and out now, not for injury, but just for bad play, I suppose. It's that bad, folks. Like, it's an awful situation for any quarterback to be put into. So, I say both things are true. Bad situation, Shedeur is still the better quarterback on the roster. I don't know how you can disagree with me about those 2 points. So I agree with Ms. Toya here. Time man. Draft Arch Manning? Question mark? Hey, Arch with a big W over the weekend in a 35-yard rushing touchdown. I was actually watching that game here for Texas. You know what would be hilarious, Time man? If the Browns did draft Arch Manning like later in the draft, could you imagine the media coverage from our training camp if our quarterback room was Arch Manning and Shedeur Sanders? ESPN would just combust and cover every second of our training camp. I mean, that would be an insane hype in our locker room. If he's available late in the draft, man, don't be surprised if Cleveland takes a swing on him. Because I don't know how much he's going to fall. He hasn't played up to the hype that he has going into the year. Look out for that. Honestly, bro, I could see that happening before us drafting Mendoza. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how Shedeur plays the back half of this season. What'd you think of him today? Grade his second start. A, B, C, D, or F. You know the grading scale. Be the professor. Tell me what you thought of Shedeur's second start in the National Football League today. Put it in that comment section. Obviously, it was a loss, but all things considered, the numbers weren't bad. And we still had the big touchdown dot. It was only one of the day. I would love to see him play again. I still see the flashes there that he's the better prospect. But let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single Browns report video or Cleveland Browns piece of news /update/Shedeur update. I'm here for you all season long. Hit the sub button. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.